Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone across the globe. This is Bairavee Balasubramaniam. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Eris-Uranus conjunction in Aries and what it means for us. Now, some of you may already know about this alignment. There's certainly a lot of hype and perhaps a lot of fear that also surrounds the coming together of these two bodies. I'm going to talk to you about what they mean in astrology, what they mean for us spiritually at both an individual and a collective level. Now, Eris is known as the dark goddess. Or, well, she has many names, but I call her the dark goddess. Others call her the goddess of discord, chaos, and strife. In mythology, Eris is basically excluded from attending a wedding. And long story short, she basically throws down this golden apple of discord with the words, "to the fairest." A bit of a competition ensues amongst the goddesses who are present, and then they go and find a shepherd to decide who is the fairest of them all. You can tell a man wrote this story. Long story short, that eventually leads to the Trojan War. So basically, Eris does not have a particularly good reputation in Greco-Roman mythology. They show her as the one who is left out, and due to her own wrath at being left out, they show her as the initiator of events which we then perceive as chaos, destruction, violence, and so on. Of course, that is a patriarchal narrative. Now, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the sacred feminine has been ignored. And when the feminine has asserted itself to the point that it demands inclusion in a system or structure that has sought to systematically exclude it, it is portrayed as frightening, terrifying, dark, angry, and so on and so forth. And basically, that is how Eris is shown. Now, this does not mean, however, that Eris is basically the girl next door and she just wants to be understood a little better. There's elements of the myth at play as well. The last time we had Uranus and Eris together in Aries was basically, well, the events that led to the outbreak of World War II. Now, we just need to look at human history in 500-year cycles to see that the coming together of Uranus and Eris in Aries has often resulted in things which we do perceive as widespread war, genocide, chaos, genuinely unpleasant stuff. Now, the reason why I'm not saying that, I'm not giving a definitive thing of this is going to be the outbreak of war and gloom and doom and the end of civilization as we know it is because my interpretation of this is as follows. When Uranus, the great revealer, the great awakener of consciousness, meets Eris, what he is basically saying to all of us is that it is now. Now is the time that we need to integrate the sacred feminine back into our consciousness. And we need to adjust the systems or structures that have been put in place to prevent us from this recognition, to prevent us from this inclusion. And in previous times, perhaps the only way we knew how to integrate the feminine to the masculine was tearing down and burning down the world that did not let her be. But we don't live in those times anymore. Of course, there's millions of people still living in old paradigm reality, but there are a lot of us who do not. And so rather than perpetuating the fear that is associated with Eris alignments, I would say there is a different way that we can work with this consciousness and energy. So this message is very much so for those of you who are sitting in a conscious, grounded space with their energy. Become the vessel. Allow yourself to feel the energy of this alignment and to allow it to move through you. Understand that all of us are now birthing a new reality. For some people, that birthing will require a violent destruction of what was, the status quo before, and for others, the transition will be less destructive. Personally, I feel that the outcome, the tangible physical outcome of the Eris-Uranus conjunctions depends not just on what, the ruling elite may think, but also what each and every single one of us brings to the collective pool of consciousness going on. There are going to be 3 exact conjunctions between Uranus and Eris in Aries, and each time we are going to be seeing this massive surge of awakening energy. Feminine energy, energy that seeks to enter the world and to be recognized as a legitimate part of the world. Because if we do not understand Eris, and if we choose to exclude her once again, it's going to be burn, baby, burn. And I don't really think we need that type of forced mass awakening once more. But again, it depends on the collective property of all our consciousness put together and how that eventually manifests. So, in practical terms, for those of you feeling the overwhelming energy of this alignment, if you just want to hide under a blanket fort, that is a sane option. For those of you who feel grounded enough to do some energy work, focus on your body, focus on the flow and the movement of spirit through your body at this time, and understand what it is telling you. Allow yourself to sit in a space where you are centered, grounded, and rooted, and bring the energy of the awakening into you and allow it to also spread to all those around you if they are willing and ready to receive that message and energy. Always remember the principle of free will in energy work. Um, Now, I wouldn't say that there's any specific gemstones, rituals, or mantras that are necessarily associated with the energy that is, in the skies right now. But the only thing I would say is whatever you do, keep it focused from the heart. Heart centered consciousness, Anahata chakra, all of that good, fun stuff. We're going to build a new world either way. And I believe that if we put the heart in front, as the parts of ourselves that are basically driving this boat or steering the great vessel towards wherever we're all headed, we're probably going to have a better journey overall. Now, the 3 times this conjunction between Eris and Uranus in Aries occurs is, of course, June, September 2016, and March 2017. The June alignment is going to take place in the early hours of the 9th of June, so tomorrow. For those of you in England, Scotland, that type of area. For those of you in the States, it's going to be in the late hours of the 8th. So in other words, late night on the 8th. And for those of you in Asia and Australia, that's going to be, the afternoon or the evening of the 9th. So watch what comes. If you're feeling really, really, really stressed, just chill out, relax if you can. Understand that there's a lot of cosmic pressure and intensity that all of us are feeling right now. And if you can, open your chakras, open your energy to the wave of feminine awakening coming in and basically say, please, mother, goddess, lover, sister, daughter, whatever you want to call her, let this come through the heart. Take care, everyone. God, Goddess bless, and let's build a new world together. Ciao for now.